to get a little hotter. So, yeah, I'm totally with you.
And then even the 20-0 run was midway through the third. It was still like 8 minutes. Right, it was still close, and then all of a sudden the game's over. So that makes me anxious if you pick the Thunder or if you are rooting for the Thunder. Wemby didn't have to go hard in the second. That, I think, drastically helps the Spurs for a Game 7 because we've seen him be tired in response to the series. Dylan Harper got rolling again. Looks healthy and got rolling. Meanwhile, I don't think that was a rust thing for J-Dub, Jalen Williams. I think that was he is probably too injured to be on the court for a Game 7. Chet got punked again. And so all of this is bad for OKC. Again, they are the champs. They haven't lost back-to-back playoff games in 2 years during this run. I'm not writing them off, and I will still stick with it. But as far as you believe that, I think you're right. We saw the Thunder win Game 5 relatively easily without Jada, without AJ Mitchell. I didn't think Shea in that game. I know he scored 30. I think he was brilliant. So I do think they are very tough to beat, and I don't think Wemby is yet to where just, he's definitely going to be awesome. And so that's where I'm at. But short of a guy getting hurt, this was the worst way this game could have gone for Oklahoma City. Mm-hmm. Every concerning marker happened in that fashion.
Do you have anything else to add, or just...
Sale on Shine. Big discount. You can get one. With items hot sale now. 1,000 plus sold. First gamer sale. Diamond shop on Shine.
And this is how aggressive Noah can be when he senses an opportunity to finish.
With Robinhood Level Charts on mobile, I get an advanced charting and trading experience right on my phone. Thanks to Robinhood's seamless trading experience and products, my mobile and web charts sync automatically. This allows me to pick up right where I left off if I have to step away from my desk, indicators as drawings and custom intervals are all saved. But as a tip of the day, I can still trade the world out. You can scroll back and forth and spot trends instantly by using Robinhood's mobile trading tools. The tools are powerful, integral, down to the tick, and over 90 indicators, including some country like SMA, EMA, MACD, and VWAP. I can even streamline trades directly from the chart. I can trade stocks and ETFs all in one place. And Robinhood Legend charts on mobile come with no issue. This is the future of trades. Your favorite tools and strategies wherever you are. Sign up on Robinhood.com to access Legends.
To strike from anywhere, and that definitely includes the mid-range.
That one good for two. Yeah, good touch on the inside shot.
Sorry. Advanced analytics, the old KW came through. And the James, man, the analytical world by storm. They didn't see that this slower than my teacup. Because guess what? Here's what Spurs needs to do to win. Wemby needs to score 26 points. As mentioned, if he scores 26 or more, the Spurs are undefeated. Hey, they're actually scoring. He needs 10 of the 26 in the paint. He didn't see it fun free. Yep, he didn't need some in the paint. You don't get all the paint. And once you're in there, you sit back, open the plane, you're not living out of it. He's great at all.
Alright, 20 things on the caveman stats. One is, I do think starting next week we need a fantasy book. Kevin Wild in a caveman. That leather leotard, like we did a real picture of it. There. Can I don't know if this is caveman-ish or not, but I decided I would like to show you. Here's the other problem for OKC, and this is Edwards for Shea. When Wemby's on the court, the Spurs are unbelievable. Shea's on the court. The Thunder, this series, are worse than he's on. This is a wonderful series. This is the series. He is minus 28 last night. Correct. So prior to 0, he was 0. That's my point. He was 0 when they were up 3-2. You know what I mean? They have done this series better. would shoot off the board than on the court.
That's wild.
And meanwhile, the Spurs, aside from Game 5, have dominated all the Wemby minutes and just gone to die in the non-Wemby minutes. That is another concerning point for me.
Another quick it's just, I mean, it's been obvious, and I would say, at least probably 4 of the 6 games. Last night, like the other 3 of the other games, when they really weren't attacking. They were not trying to shoot, including Shaq. Hartenstein throws it to the shower, so that's an awesome play. But Shaq, with guards out there, not as soon as he's out, they just go at career. And I get that, but I'm like, you gotta attack it. We're just saying it. Like Minnesota said, hey, we're going to attack it. We don't, if Harden so be it. And I just think that's a little psychological edge for the Spurs. The game really wants to have a shot.
All right, 15 points for SJ. It's a wire-to-wire loss. It's the first time the Thunder didn't lead at all in a playoff game in a decade. Here's SJ on why he struggled.
I'm not too sure, to be honest. For all the shots that I'm shooting, I shot plenty of times before they feel good. They're just not going in. Yeah, too late for abandon. I work in abandon my game at 1 a.m. This thing is saying that I got to trust it and never die by it.
That's really
Yeah.
And in this game, I understand that KW, you and I...
Nigga, I think it's the free throws, bro. I get it. You can score, but nigga, the free throws, damn.
Other player you mentioned.
It's not that you're not a good mid-range shooter. You're a great mid-range shooter. You can get to the basket. You got a good handle. The problem is, bro, you get too many free throws. So that's why you score crazy. You're not a natural just score motherfucker when you get 30 like just easy on the floor. No free, like 5 free throws.
And we can say, well, Shea doesn't either usually, but that's not entirely true. Shea never has bad regular season. But in the last 2 years in the playoffs, this is a stunning number. I'm sure you've done, we keep adding to it. Scoring less than 20. 0 times the last 140 regular season games is the Browns and 6 of his last 37 playoff games. And we get upset about some of the falling down, which, except for one sequence yesterday, I thought he did a more honorable job of. But he didn't get the calls, and this postseason, his dominance has been tied directly to getting the calls. In games this year where he doesn't get more than 8 free throws, again, 8 is a small number. If he has 8 or fewer, he's 21 games on 41%. No, it's the MVP again. And as far as this series goes, an MVP is equal percentage. Yeah, because he's like the team. No, I think a rhythm gets the other period. So the games where he's not getting to the line, it's 0 for 0 if you get fouled. It's missed shots, you know what I mean? That the missed shot kind of comes off your resume, off your ledger, if you will. But this series is inefficiency. It's nearing for MVPs in the series. Historic levels. Lowest field goal percentage in the series by that season's MVP. It's the 4th lowest. And Iverson and Rose, while great players, were inefficient. You know, so like their calling card was not 50+% from the field. So while Rose were inefficient, Shea's drop is drastically large. So listen, he is a great player, but he has not been as dominant of a postseason player as he's been a regular season player, despite the fact that he's the defending champ.
Well, one thing I say about the free throws, I don't think it's just the free throws. Like, you can get to the line. Like, Jerry got to the line a lot. Ryan Earl Fisher got to the line a lot. Like, I do not automatically look at a guy who gets to the line a lot. In fact, That's great. He was drawing his fouls and he was
Don't ever want to get into the habit of only
kind of like James Harden years ago. And you know, acting and exaggeration and all of that. So I think that's really the problem. I look at this. I'm not so much looking at this as Shea is falling apart or Shea is not I'm really interested in Moments Acctivated here. That like Stephen Castle is a phenomenal defender. And if it's not him, it's Butler, it's Kelvin Jarvis, it's Junior Champagne, it's Carter Bryant. Like all of those guys are young, athletic, and still all of them. And all of them, if not all of them, are probably stronger than Shea. It may not Junior Champagne. And then when you have a Wendy behind you, you can be that much more. And anybody that's playing basketball at a really high level, when somebody has all those attributes athletic, and it's just dogging, defending, that's why a lot of people talk about what the way they do. Because he wasn't a great team with them. But when individually and with his attitude, he just don't like playing against people like that. And so you got that to do. And then when you do get a little space, one of those donors, win you. So the defense is phenomenal. And that ends, then he doesn't have a second player. It is all one here. Like, James Williams, I'm not even going to show himself last night. We were trying, but I don't remember what he did in Game 7. He was like 18 in the 6th. And then AJ Mitchell wanted to talk AJ up like he's like, oh, but at least they can handle the pressure off their shape. So I just think it's a lot of that. I don't want to totally let him off. I'm not letting him off of that. I'm just saying, make a lot of them down.
But it's 4 of 6 games this series. He's under 40%. One of the other 2, he's at exactly 40%. And then game 2, I think he was exactly 50%. And his game was 12-24. It is and this is back-to-back years, by the way, and obviously, the finals MVP last year. They won the championship. But it's back-to-back years where he's gone from A-plus offensive player in the regular season to B-plus A-minus in the postseason. That doesn't happen to a lot of guys, but he doesn't do this roll his number real quick the last 2 playoffs compared to the regular season. You just see not a massive he falls off the table drop this year. So this year, down 4 points per game, down to 10% from the and down to 10% from 3. And last year, it's 3 points per game, down 5% from the field, down 9% from the field. So this is a bigger drop because of this year.
Nobody forget you, but we've seen as much as this was regular season, they went up. And so,
meanwhile, in New York news this morning, Mitchell Robinson had surgery and he broke his right pinky. He will play game 1 next Wednesday, but he will also wear a brace. Mike Brown said today that Robinson did not break his finger during practice or a game. I agree. What do you think this means? How big of a deal is this?
Keep all the passwords. Choose file to safely store the passwords.
Of today's game.
Yeah, sometimes you get in a shootout like this, but you just hope that you can get stopped first.
This is Gwen, a basketball legend. After her buzzer-beating layup secured the league championships, her legendary moment was cemented. So, how does a legend stay legendary? Well, she's got the BetMGM app and is on her way to making another unforgettable play. Like Quinn, download the BetMGM app. Make it legendary.
That'll be a 5-second call.
And when cut into a lead, we can ill afford mistakes
Look,
like that.
he obviously is not a skilled player where he shoots well and is going to dribble the basketball. And he's going to play in that center. It can have some effect in that the brace will probably be a soft brace, and they'll try to make it as small as possible. Right, they'll try to make it as small as possible. But it could affect your ability to catch lobs or just catch passes. And then when you grab rebound, like, we can see he has a mean streak. If it's or if it's we know the Thunder are not opposed to doing something on the edge. They're going to be hitting at that hand. Every time he grabs the ball, they're going to be hitting at it. And nobody minds fouling him because it's going to be good doing this. So that's just where he's going to have to play for a lot of pay. I didn't play, but it's going to be a lot of pay.
All right. Before I answer the question, I found it very noteworthy that the Knicks told us this didn't happen playing basketball.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, or not exactly. I made practice when he was bouncing or like in the midst of this unbelievable Knicks run. Mitch is the one guy who publicly, I think on Instagram, like publicly last week posted like, "Hey, I'm really done with this stuff. I'm letting everybody know." And, was kind of like trying to deactivate or whatever. So it was odd. It has to be personalized things. All of that together just makes you, concerned, making sure, aside from the basketball part, feel like okay. So whenever I hear about someone breaking a finger, I always think about how I've done it. And just maybe in a horrible game fight with me, I don't want to chase the police. Tossed out on the street. That's 4 in the morning. Guys showing up from Las Vegas. With that said, I do think he is on I think he's way more important if they go to Spurs than the Thunder. But the Thunder, the Spurs, you talked about why having him as a backup center could be good against the league. He also, in their 2 wins against the Spurs, played 18 minutes and played 15 minutes. Didn't play, I don't believe, in their 1 loss against the Spurs this year. So that's no good. I do, however, have last 1 10 Dallas.
That's what I call a momentum changer.
If there was anything,
You've got a point guard.
that was going to give him a first pass. I can't. He's not going to hurt it. He's at like 38% these playoffs. You got it split. And nobody advantage you. You have to playing for the day. As the Rick Barry style. Oh, instead of like Rick Barry style. Not only the not perfect news, David Ward is not a full participant in the event. And the bad news is when she writes is rehabbing from knee surgery in jail.
Just 5 to shoot.
And now you lost. Now it's okay. I showed your bad receiving core, I get yelled at. You're showing mine with the guy in jail. It's no problem. Here's the thing about being in this spot.
He's got the touch. We just saw it. Here's Jones.
And so, occasionally you have a handshake deal and you have a trade coming down the pike the way the Patriots appear to for a receiver. And occasionally, in training camp, guys come available either because they're cut or more likely it's like, oh man, this rookie's better than we thought. We can trade this player. So on that note, I just have really accepted Ryan Thomas. who was, there was talk about him being available before, that Travis is still adamant he's going to play both sides of the ball. Like, so maybe something like that shakes loose. But I do not believe there is a free agent out there that will drastically improve things. I don't. Diggs would be the only one who has, at least coming off a very good year, that you would say. But I don't. He is a little bit skill to Rashid Rice, who I think they do expect to be on the team. And so they are just going to, once again, be asking Patrick to make it work. And to hope that, and I won't write off the possibility, hope that Rashid Rice, this is a version of rock bottom, and he, learns from it, but it shouldn't have taken the 30 days in jail for him to feel like, man, I got so lucky on so many fronts on the street racing thing that nobody died, that I didn't get hurt, that I didn't, get sent to prison, not 30 days in jail, all of that. And he didn't seem to really learn from that. So it just is what it is. Like, but I'm not going to sit here and act like I think that re-signing Brandon, Juju Smith-Schuster, or Brandon Cook, or Jahan Dotson, who are available, drastically improve the situation.
I think the league said there's been no discussion with the league on further punishment. So I don't know if that means there's not going to be any, or I just think they have got to press the league to try to find out how long is he going to be out, how long is he going to be suspended.
I don't think he'll get anything. No, because just so everybody understands, the reason he's doing these 30 days now is because he tested positive for marijuana, which is not anymore suspendable by the league. So I don't know how the league views him breaking his probation, for something that is not like a player conduct violation. I'm not certain.
I would like to know if he is clear once he gets out.
But even if he is, it might not be. Like, he could be in the clear for his behavior. I'm just saying, at this point, you have to assume it's on the board. He just does something dumb and gets himself suspended.
I think they need to go get some of those receivers. They had Killer Walker referring, but he's not that bell cow superstar running back. Saquon Barkley a couple years ago, Derrick Henry, his career. He's not that guy. He solved some of his problems, but you're going to have a hefty passes. And Mahomes, obviously, it's been remarkable the way he's, recovering and stuff. But he's not really for running, I wouldn't say running the way he has in the past. So you're going to need a little run out. Kelsey's just a year old, not going to be what he used to be. So I do think that Diggs will help a lot. I think, and maybe he was really good last year. He hasn't been a problem with his attitude on the team, in the locker room, and everything. And I think he would probably really cherish the chance. I mean that in a good way that he is going to play with the whole. So I think somebody out there. I would give at least a more than the ground stuff, and I don't care if I gotta go fast the game tricks, whatever. Now I know there's some financial things they want to take on that money in the future or whatever, but I would personally look at Brown just being miserable because he wants to go to the Patriots. Do you think, and I get
he played the Chiefs, he's like wandering over to the side.
I get that he wants to play for the Patriots. But do you think he would not?
I think everybody would, if there was a receiving would show play with home. If you had an opportunity, it would be step to play with the three best quarterbacks in the AFC. Josh, Drake, and Patrick, it would just be great. It would and you can make each one of them a little bit better. The other thing that I'm worried about as a Chiefs fan, because they are one of my favorite teams, of course. Broncos got Jalen Waddle. We need to get better. They got Jalen Waddle. Yeah. The Chargers added Njoku, which is nice, not monstrous. And the Bills, because I didn't even talk about it, got DJ Moore.
Yeah, the Chiefs added Kenneth Walker. I think Kenneth Walker is better than all those players.
But not the pass catcher. But I'm just doing
more
pass catchers.
Yes, no, of course.
You guys are going.
I think Waddle's better than DJ. I'm not.
Yeah. So I think both of those guys are better.
Okay, so I think that So, no, you're right as far as pass catchers. I view this as, and I'm a broken record on this to a degree, but I think a massive part of the Chiefs' offense becoming dysfunctional last year was teams over the course of the year saying, we will never respect your.
We'll see the New York Knicks taking on the Los Angeles Lakers. Well, we've got some terrific basketball.
Run game. There is no formation you can put out there.
Summer is just around the corner. Get ready for your road trip at Capital Hyundai of Greensboro. Things are heating up, but our prices are always cool. Lease your new 2026 Elantra for just $209 a month. That's less than $7 a day. Or lease a new 2026 Santa Fe for NBA fans, they're feeling like Dylan Harper, right? Your prayers have been answered. We are getting a Game 7 in the Western Conference Finals, and in this series, that feels exactly like what we deserved. Alongside Shania Ogumake, Danny Green, who has played in how many Game 7s?
A couple.
4 7s for DG. I'm Malika Andrews, and I think all of us were hoping, right, since we saw that Game 1 nail-biter, that this was going to be a series that went the distance, Danny. You played in them. What makes Game 7 different?
Man, I mean, we've been waiting for this, right?
Yes.
I like to compare it to the Super Bowl and football. People love football so much because of how every possession matters so much. Obviously, the playoffs is heightened. Every possession matters, but in Game 7, it's intense. Like, people get into it, like, every timeout, every dive, every loose ball, every executed play or non-executed play, somebody's getting cussed out, might get heated. So these Game 7 is going to be very intense, and I think we're going to get a good one because this is what we've been waiting for.
Your ass, trash. We're talking about one shot and one opportunity. Before we look too far ahead, clearly we're excited. Let's look at how we got here. Because the Spurs facing a must. We knew it then. You knew that when he walked in. Yes, it was for a holiday, but he was going to bring the energy here. OKC, though, they haven't performed well today. We talked about this yesterday in Game 6s. Their last 3 consecutive Game 6s, they lost. So they were hoping to turn things around. They had Jalen Williams back in the lineup. Not so fast. Yeah, not so fast because Victor Wembanyama came with the shot. He was literally on fire, and this was the play right here. Just stepping into shots, knocking them down. I love how he avoided the smoke. The Harden State matchup was huge in Game 6, especially now that he got the advantage on this side. Yeah, Victor Wembanyama started out the game 2 of 2 from 3, and that really got him early. Can I hear an amen? Hey, sisters out there. And then Mitch goes to the bench. Mitch Johnson, he spoke about the Spurs struggling without Wemby.
Obviously, we're better with him on the floor, and we got to be better when he's not on the floor.
And be better, Danny, they were.
Yes, they were. Getting to the paint, not only him, but them. They were attacking, aggressive. They weren't on their heels. They looked like the aggressive this game. Dylan Harper showed up. Like, everybody showed up. LaSalle, I love what they did for them.
Yeah, they went on an 11-0 run with Wemby on the bench here. Castle was really finding himself. Let's take a listen to Steph Castle on overcoming Wemby's bench minutes.
We know that, when Vic comes off the floor, that there was a slight drop-off. So, just continuing to communicate to each other and make it as tough for them as possible.
So Wemby showing his love there to Luke Cornett, that French vanilla, as they call it. How do you stop this? There's no answer for that. Where his elbow was above the rim. The Spurs dominated in this one, and Wemby was asked how desperation changes a series. Here he is.
Just like it erases kind of all the little mistakes that we do that are human nature, whether it's in the regular season or previous games. You just got to fight that all the time. And when your back's against the wall, it feels like it's the best opportunity to do that.
Does it feel like you're very much in the midst of that first year in the NBA?
No, to be honest. I mean, it's a long season. This game 100 count preseason for us, so it feels like I've kind of been in the league for a little while now. But there's still little things that I need to pick up and grasp on. But for the most part, I feel like I belong.
Tonight was do or die, and I think a lot of fans are going to be happy. They say it's the best line in sports, I believe. So we'll be prepared, and I would expect to get their best punch. We're going to go with our eyes wide open and expecting nothing less.
And that's exactly what they should be doing. But, Danny, we saw a different San Antonio Spurs team here in this game 6.
Yeah, it was a party. They're throwing haymakers, but good credit to OKC. They still kind of stayed within the game. But for me, Victor was Victor. He came out, he set the tone. But the others started joining the party. Vassell, Champagny, Keldon Johnson, like Dylan Harper came off the bench and scored. As you hear, he's also making plays. We haven't seen much of Dylan this aggressive since game 1. He had that agile strength, but he's attacking the paint. You got good mobile man, swing. Vassell just kind of got him going. Get his one team, his first one to win. A lot of shit. Nobody hear him. Alex Cooper trying to close it up. Knock it down. 33 up. And the defense on the floor. This is where he kind of took home for me. Like, he was the difference maker of getting the paint, blocking shot, even in transition, stopping transition, giving kind of little shoulder bump, like, hey, I'm here. Let the fans know, let his teammates know that we're not backing down, we're ready to play. Again, all the fans are here attacking the paint. Dylan Harper against his body, knowing he's using his shoulder, using his body, shooting the top, he's kind of run through. These two guys kind of set the tone and also carried them throughout most of the second half of the game. And that was a difference. Like, the bench of OKC's outscored San Antonio's by a lot of it.
Right.
Those guys showing up helped us do around that game.
Yeah, this is a heavyweight battle. And as she has said it, after day 2, we still lose the Thunder because the San Antonio Spurs, they filled that first month. Yeah. And it is truly a haymaker. And Victor Wembanyama, and you know the perfect highlight. Not only him, it was not only him, but them. It was a collective playing with aggression. But this actually worked to their advantage because going into game 7, you know, Victor Wembanyama who scored 28 points in 28 minutes.
Yeah.
The best thing you can have in a series of having proportion is active recovery. He was on the bench in the fourth quarter, so that actually works to their advantage. But my biggest takeaway here is that this group is fearless, right? All the things that we were saying about the Oklahoma City Thunder last year, they run, they go by their defense, they have a superstar, they're the collective. You can say the same exact thing about the San Antonio Spurs that we're going to look there. Life comes right exactly. And to your point about Dylan Harper, he did 18 points combined in games 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he had 18 points last. So maybe if he goes a little bit healthier, maybe if he's down his rhythm again, but that is the version of Dylan Harper that they're going to need going back into enemy territory. We should have done the highlight. I don't know why. Game 6, for whatever reason, they just have not been Oklahoma City's cup of tea, even going back to last year's title run. Let's take a listen to SGA to just read that up.
They just punched. We didn't punch back. They really aggressive tonight. From start to finish. They put it on in us. Need more shots. Be more aggressive. How much mental and physical fatigue do you have and how you find to do it?
Oh, he know how to shoot, Jalen. Okay. A lot of niggas don't know how to shoot, JB.
It's the next game. And if I lose my season,
still trash. Fuck yourself.
farther in the all-new Jeep Cherokee Hybrid with over 500 miles of range with no plug needed. So you can be all the way through.
Oh, yeah.
In the corner, Tatum with it. And again, Boston with the triple.
And I like to see this. They're calling his number early, and he's delivering.
They know that if this guy goes off, their chances of winning rise exponentially.
Lords were holding SGH 1 of 7 shooting. And get this is the part that's most wild to me. He was only doubled 3 times during Game 6, compared to the first 5 games where he was double 20. I can do that all by myself. This is defensively. Let me show you how good and how connected they are on the screen, the San Antonio Spurs. First it's Harper going to SGA, but there's going to be a screen. And so you step up, Kelvin Johnson. I got him. One-on-one, being physical. I know he gets beat the outside of down to nail with Fox, forcing a tough contest, and that's a miss. They get the rebound and go, especially with Victor Wembanyama not on the court. Again, here we've got Stephon Castle on the matchup. A nice little flat screen here. He's going to attack. Okay, we're seeing the most drop coverage. Why? Because Cornette and Victor are the help defenders, forcing another miss. This is the face of SGA, dealing with the defense that we have not seen. Epic proportions behind the defensive player of the year. Look at the shot chart. 6 for 18, 15 points. This is a guy who, for the first time, 4 games straight, shooting below 40%. Again, the Spurs, they're doing it the dirty way. So the page out of this playbook by doing it through defense. And it's happened all postseason long, really. But the Thunder, I'm sure you've seen his numbers today. They're minus 28 in the minutes that SGA is on his floor. They're plus 10 in the minutes that he's off. Some of that I suspect, though, I think it has to do with Lou Dort. They tend to match minutes, and Lou Dort has been a net negative the entire series.
Trash ass, they don't know how to shoot, JB. They don't know how to fucking shoot.
Available for last night's game.
Fool's gold ass nigga.
Title team.
I ain't letting you shoot Tatum, though.
Almost seems like a break in case of
fuck that. Oh, hell no.
Especially coming back from injury and hamstring. He hasn't played a lot of minutes. He's been out for a while. This is a high-stakes game on both sides, especially San Antonio.
That's a foul, right? Fuck
they're playing defensively. So to throw him out there and try to, go against Castle, Vassell, Champagne that are like fighting for the lives, he was rusty, and it's going to take some time. And now this may be a good test run for him. I think for the first blessing in disguise. But yeah, he's an all-NBA player. He's so much of a challenge for everything. But this was a tough situation for him, and then hopefully, again, this was like something that they
right around the corner tomorrow night. But more importantly, you have to go soft. Listening to the broadcast, they said only playing in 3-minute intervals, right? No one seeing that they're working. No matter how great you are, playing in just 3-minute intervals. So that's telling you something about how healthy he actually is. Because again, this is a hamstring sprain, and it's another hamstring sprain. It's not even his first one of the season, and so I expect him to be available again here. Can your hamstring get warm running for 3 minutes straight?
I was shocked that he came back.
Yeah, I was a little bit too. I expect him to be available in this game 7, but we'll see how Mark Dagnall decides to deploy him here.
Absolutely dialed in from the so far in this one. The defense is surrendering the long-range shot here early on.
It's a long shot. Great good now. Get one. They fight under top down now. 1,000 plus good. What are you doing for? Down for shot on shot.
The first free throw is good.
Robinhood Strategies delivers an expert managed portfolio.
We're back on NBA Today with breaking news, this time out of Orlando. Our senior insider, Sham Charania, is here with us. Sham, the Magic, they have made a decision here on their next head coach. What have they decided on?
To the inside.
Well, the sources tell me that Orlando is hiring Spurs associate coach Sean Sweeney as the franchise's next head coach. Sweeney gets this job doing a process that also included finalists Billy Donovan and Jeff Van Gundy. So now Sweeney will finish up the rest of this postseason on the Spurs bench. We know his value to Nick Johnson throughout this first season overall for him in San Antonio, running the defense, one of the top defensive teams in the NBA, 28 wins from last season. I'm sure Sean Sweeney really clinched this job in a meeting with ownership in San Antonio on an off day on Wednesday. He's co-stars like Giannis, Luka Doncic, now Wemby, and Stephon Castle. And now we'll take over a team that had Eastern Conference contending aspirations earlier.
I covered Sean Sweeney when he was with the Milwaukee Bucks, and certainly he's a defensively minded coach, and the Orlando Magic, we saw their defense take a little bit of a dip last season. So you have to imagine that he's really going to drill down there with a team that's hoping to go farther than they did in the postseason this year. So speaking of the postseason, back to the playoffs here in New York side of things, because you also reported this morning that Mitchell Robinson, he had surgery on that broken right. The finals, though, they're only 5 days away. So what do we know about his status for game 1?
Small, bro.
I'm told that Mitchell Robinson plans to play in game 1 of the NBA Finals in Oklahoma City.
Oh, my God. You got to make those.
He's going to do so with a brace on that right hand to be able to play through that broken
trash ass.
And as for the
Billy Sharman ass nigga, who's hell, boy? Yeah.
Occurred outside of team activities.
Yeah, scary as a guy.
So now Mitchell Robinson will get about a week of rehab before seeing us in game 1.
Yeah, Mike Brown was asked about exactly when this happened, and he left it very, very vague, just saying not a practice, not in a game, but the hope is that he's going to be back here for game 1. Sean, thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm out. Bye. Broke the news. I got more news to break here. Danny,
fuck out of here. What? Oh, hell no.
And will he continue to be as they march on?
I think this series upcoming for them, people
on the wall.
So it's Boston now.
Trash ass, scared ass, man.
Smart deciding where to go with it. Back to Reeves. And here's Smart. Hasn't made one yet. Clock at 4. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
Man, funny. Yeah.
Celtics leading by 11. Tatum a screen. And for those of you just joining us, we're almost 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. Some nice ball movement here by the Celtics. Off the mark there with a three-point shot. Here's James. Drives to the hoop. They get it back. Outside for Smart. Doncic outside. And another shot. Good on the jump shot. Doncic has got it back down to within single digits for the Lakers.
We know that Luka's a 3-level scorer. He's elite from any range. That time he goes
trash ass. Fucking touch you up.
Doncic outside to the middle. And Ayton throws it down.
Well, the length and athleticism of DeAndre didn't make that an easy opportunity.
Out to the wing.
Oh, yeah, we know he ain't shooting no scary ass.
Back to Tatum.
Oh, yeah.
Again, the miss by the Celtics. James has a 2-point.
Goodness gracious.
That's a fucking flying on down and see him.
Outside
yeah.
Tatum.
Oh, shit. Tatum with that fadeaway track.
Lakers trailed by 5. Back to James.
What, you don't believe in my shit? Oh, you don't believe in my shit?
There's 45 seconds in the first half of basketball.
Believe in my shit?
And the foul is called. He intentionally grabbed in there for some reason.
Scary ass nigga.
Is that he's trying to slow the game down a little bit.
Don't believe in my shit.
So definitely a strange move on his part.
And so the timeout by Joe Mazzulla here. Coach is going to talk some things over with the team. Might be seeing something to adjust. Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation. White down low. Pass to Cato. Here's Hauser. A shot goes in. First shot, first basket.
For a guy who's known for his perimeter shooting, that is a great look.
That'll be a 5-second call.
And to make that mistake at this time is tough to come back from.
These are the kinds of plays that can be game changers, that can make you hang your head.
Back to Pritchard. The shot's good. The assist by Vucevic. And it's an 11-point Boston lead.
Unwilling to let up even for a moment. That's his killer instinct, just spanning the plane.
One thing I enjoy is watching players who don't pay attention to the score. You lock in on the moment and play the right way.
Harper wide open. And it's off from three-point range. And that's going to be a turnover. They call him for 8 seconds.
He got a little ahead of himself there trying to pull the team in.
That's a big miscue, and you hate to see that happen at this point in the game.
And that one drops. Big miscommunication on defense. He recognizes it and quickly takes it back.
And that's typical of this guy. He's always reading the situation, reacting quickly and capitalizing.
And we've reached halftime in this one. Celtics out in front as they dominate the last minutes of the quarter on an 8-0 run. And we've got more action coming your way after this break. And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next 2 quarters are any different from the first 2. So far, it has been a runaway. They're going to turn it over. They couldn't get it in bounds that time.
And that is just a deflating error on his part.
Well, I think it kills your energy, and it certainly kills your momentum.
Here's Pritchard. This is the most they've led by 13 points. Buries the long-range jumper. Pritchard's got the first basket of the third quarter for Boston.
And guys, there are some you can give that shot to, but let's be clear, he's not one of them. Terrible job there by the D.
From the arc, and the Celtics hit again from deep.
And that's just too much space to give a shooter like him. He works to get open, but the defenders have to work harder to nullify that. And you can see what he wanted to do there, but that was a tough giveaway.
And I think the intention doesn't always equal the result. Wrong play, wrong time.
Pass to Sharman. And the Celtics hit again from deep.
A lot to like about the way they're playing right now, but still plenty of time left.
You do like that the offense is coming along. They're putting in the effort to distance themselves.
And the Celtics with possession here. A shot by Pritchard, no good.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
And And they call the 8-second violation. Too much time getting it up court.
And that is just a deflating error on his part.
Well, I think it kills your energy, and it certainly kills your momentum.
On offense, here are the Celtics. 9 points in a row. Good run for him right now. To the left wing. Here's Walsh. Oh, good with the triple. Now Reeves. And there's the 8-second call as they can't get it across half court in time.
He got a little ahead of himself there trying to pull the team in.
That's a big miscue, and you hate to see that happen at this point in the game.
Celtics leading by 22. Fires from deep. Sinks the triple. Browns got 6.
And they have been relentless from deep. And you see the defense trying to react, but to no avail.
Well, that's the whole point, isn't it? If you space the floor well enough, it's almost impossible for the defense to account for everyone.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation. .90 seconds now into the second half. Pritchard with a wide open look. And the Celtics another three.
That's a layup for him. He's just too open.
That'll be a 5-second call.